again, everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz. And today we're going to look at the WZ-112-2 Celestial, the new Chinese Tier 8 heavy tank. It's a premium tank that's now in the stores. Now, this tank you can purchase for gold, and it comes in 3 packages. Package 1 is just the standard tank, which is 12,500 gold. Package 2 is the standard tank with all the equipment unlocked, etc., for 15,000 gold. Or there's package 3 where you get this tank and the WZ-111 with all the equipment unlocked and another avatar for 17,500 gold. But is it worth it? So I stuck it into Tank Compare, and as you can see, I've put it with the Glacial and the WZ-11, and because it looks like an IS-3, I've stuck an IS-3 in there, and because it has a similar gun to the IS-5, I put the IS-5 in there. And wow! It's exactly the same as the 112 Glacial, which is exactly the same as the 111. The big difference is this tank has less HP than those. I mean, so you're basically spending money for a tank that looks different, doesn't perform differently, it has a similar armor profile, dishes out the same damage, has the same reload, has the same DPM. Slightly faster than the 112 Glacial. It even has the same depression as the 112 Glacial, which is 6 degrees. Okay, that's 1 degree more than the 111, but you're really just getting aesthetics, guys, to be... Okay, the armor profile is slightly different. I mean, this is, I don't know, more of the IS-5 look about it. IS-3 look about it, well, more of an IS-5 than the 111, which has the pikey nose, and the Glacial, which is completely flat and has a flatter turret. Armor-wise, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, this is it facing up against IS-3, funnily enough. But I get back to, it's really not that much different to the other 2 Chinese premiums in this tier. Seriously, it is not that much different. Okay, the armor is slightly different, but you've got the same DPM, you've got the same reload, you've got the same top alpha damage, you've got, for all intents and purposes, the same HP and the same engines. There we go. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is the first game I played in it. You've got the same Chinese loaders, and you've got the same aim time. And, you know, from afar, okay, it looks like a Glacial. It actually does look like a Glacial. And I decided, well, I'm going to have to play this like a Glacial. And, you know, the gameplay isn't that much different. The only difference being is that it does look like an IS-3. I mean, it's as simple as that. From the front it doesn't, but, you know, from the rear and from the sides and the turret, it definitely looks like an IS-3. And this is the thing. I mean, if you've already got the Glacial, what are you getting that's different with this tank? In real terms, well, I don't know. You get a tank that looks a little bit different, that has less hit points than the Glacial, but still dishes out the same damage as the Glacial, still takes 12.5 seconds to load that gun, like the Glacial. I mean, okay, in real terms, they're meant to be just under 12 seconds, but I've stuck the calibrated shells in because, like the Glacial, it struggles to pen on occasion. So, you've got the same gun as both the Glacial, which is the 112, and the 111, the other premium tank. The same load time, the same alpha, the same DPM, the same aim time. The only difference is it does look different. I mean, as I said, the 111 looks more like an IS-5, this looks more like an IS-3, and the Glacial looks like a flattened IS-3. So, what are you getting for your money that you haven't already got? Well, if you haven't got the Glacial, then obviously this is a new tank. And if you go for the package of 2 tanks for the price of 1, which is actually a good package, I mean, you're getting 1 tank for 15,000 gold, and you get 2 tanks for 17,500 gold. But you're getting 2 tanks that are pretty much the same, guys. Let's not kid ourselves here. Okay, they look different. Performance-wise, they are the same. And there's nothing to set them apart, realistically, apart from they don't look the same. Although the 111 and the 112-2, they both look like ISs. You know, it's I don't know. It's it's a strange one for me. You've got two tanks realistically in the store for 17,500 gold, which isn't a small amount of gold. Let's be honest here. That perform exactly the same way. They're both the same tank, apart from the looks. But what's it like to play? Well, it's like a glacial. Oddly enough, you play it like you would play a glacial. You've got that long reload. You've got a gun that sometimes doesn't pen. You've got a gun that, when it does pen, dishes out a lot of damage. You've got armor that is quite trolly if you know how to angle it and you know how to side scrape it. But side scraping wise, it's fantastic. Put this thing hull down, angle it acutely like you saw in the armor profile. It's a tricky tank to hurt. But it's still similar style of gameplay to the glacial. You've got to be very mindful of this very long reload. You've got to be very mindful of the very long aim time. And you've got to be mindful of the fact that sometimes you're not going to get amazing pen. Got 250 on your standard ammo, which is the APCR. You stick that up to the heat, then you get 270, but you drop down to 340 on the amount of damage that you do. HE 61, but you do damage of 500. So, okay, it plays like a glacial. It's got the same gun as the glacial. If you've got a glacial, why would you want this? Unless you're a tank collector. Okay, I get if you haven't got the glacial, then this is a tank that you should be interested in. But then it brings me to the package. You can get this and the WZ-112 together. Interesting. So you get, for 17,500 gold, basically the same tank, albeit they look slightly different. Why these weren't released as tech tree tanks, I don't understand. I mean, we've already got a tech tree tank, which is the WZ-110, which has similar HP, slightly less DPM, same penetration, less damage, but it loads a lot faster at just over 8 seconds. Okay, so on its standard AP, it's only dishing out 310 with its APCR 260 and with its HE 420, but it's a damn sight cheaper. I don't know, this is a mixed bag to me, and the reason I say that is because I've already got a glacial. So the only reason I would take this tank is because it looks different. Not because it's got a better gun, or a better engine, or better DPM, because it doesn't. It has the same. So I would urge caution on this one, guys. Because if you've already got the glacial, and you don't like it, then you're not going to like this tank. It's as simple as that. Now, gameplay-wise, as I said, it's no different to the glacial, realistically. If you play it correctly, the way it should be played, you know, which is don't rush in. Yeah, okay, you've got armor, but that load time does hurt. That aim time hurts. I mean, look at the aim time on this. Then you can have some good fun in it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, okay, the other two games that you've seen didn't really set the world on fire, let's be honest. But these last two games, then you'll see more about what the tank is about. Unfortunately, I've only played a few games in it. I didn't get the mastery. I just rolled out to see what it was like. And I walked away scratching my head saying, that's a glacial. Because that's what it is, in my opinion. It's just got a different name and it looks a bit different. But the game style is pretty much the same. You can be potent and effective on the battlefield. You can give the opposition pain. You really can. I mean, look at this. Boom. Big 300 roll into the side of that 26. My ping went a bit weird there, which is why I'm side onto him. I mean, that wasn't planned, to be honest with you. Then my ping steadied out again, so I was able to sort of play it a bit more properly. And look, I mean, okay, if you aim for the right parts, it doesn't struggle. If you get up close and personal, it's difficult to pen you, as I said. If you angle it correctly, you will bounce. If you know how to play the tank with these long reloads and get back into cover, you can have fun in this tank. You know, I'm going to give these three tanks now a bit of a hard time, which is the Louver, the ISU-152, and an M6, blah-de-blah-de-blah. All pretty potent tanks at tier 8. And, you know, this thing can handle its own in that type of brawl. But so can a glacial. It's similar in that respect. I mean, this is really the Chinese premium version of an IS-3, IS-5 mix. I wouldn't go as far to say it's an IS-6 because it's not, because it's not the same turret. Okay, hull-wise, it looks like it because it hasn't got that pikey nose, etc., etc. But look at this. I mean, you know, when it works like a dream. It will annihilate most things. It will give out top damage. But don't kid yourselves, guys. I mean, it's got the second best damage in the game. Well, third best damage when you look at the 112 Glacial and the 111 at this tier. It's for all heavy tanks. But aside from that, it's pretty middle of the road. It's got the lowest HP. It's got pretty middle of the road stats, to be fair. Now this is the last game, rolling out on vineyards, and you know it's not the fastest tank, but it gets you around the battlefield. I mean, don't forget it is a heavy, so it's heavy. But like I said, if you know how to angle these things, and you're used to these guns with long load times, then yeah, you can have some good fun in it. But I'll get back to that. You can have good fun in a Glacial if you know how to play the damn thing. It's no different, realistically. It just looks different. And for 17, well, if you get the package, which is 17,500, the 17,500 is gold. Is that really worth it? If you've already got a Glacial or you've already got the WZ-110, I don't know. I didn't buy the package, mainly because I've already got the 111. But I mean, the gun does work. But afterwards, when I did, and I only bought it because I need to do the review. But upon reflection, if it was me and I didn't do these videos, I wasn't doing these reviews, would I buy this tank? No. Not unless I was a tank collector, because it brings nothing new to my garage. It brings nothing different to what I already have. It's a simple fact. You know, I already have a Glacial. This is the same, just looks different. Everything else, in fact, like I said, it's got lower hit points, but aside from that, it's the same as the Glacial. And this is where I scratch my head. And I'd love to be able to say to you, guys, roll out, go and get it. It's fantastic. But it's not really. It's average. Really is average. I mean, okay, the credit coefficient is fantastic. But so is the 112 Glacial. It's the same credit coefficient. You know, you're going to be earning the same amount of credit, realistically, because they're both at 175%. Don't get me wrong, I rolled out in it, and it was enjoyable. It didn't set the world on fire. It wasn't this tank that turned around to me and said, wow, this is a tank that I'm so glad I got. I'm not a big fan of the Glacial at the best of times, so I was never going to be a massive fan of this one. But, I don't know. If it was me, I would only, you know, and I wasn't buying it, like I said, if it was me and I wasn't doing these reviews, I wouldn't get it. If you're a tank collector and it's within your budget, then by all means get it. Who am I to tell you not to get a tank? If you haven't got a Glacial, and it's not in the stores at the moment, etc., then yeah, okay, you're getting this similar type of tank. So, again, who am I to say don't get it? When it comes to the packages, well, obviously 17,500 for 2 tanks is a lot better than 15,000 gold for 1 tank, but for 2 tanks you get effectively the same tank. Realistically, they just look different. I mean, go and check out Blitz and Tank Compare yourselves, guys. Anyway, like I said, not convinced on this one. I wouldn't urge you to go and rush and buy it unless you're a tank collector and you really want it, because you've already got tanks similar to this. It brings nothing new to your garage apart from it looks different. That's been the WZ-112-1 with the camo that I've put on. It's called the Celestial. I've been Fujit. If you've got any decent replays, by all means send them to me, fujitsblitz@gmail.com, or even join me on my Discord server where it's easier to do it. By all means, like, comment, even subscribe if you haven't already, because it's a nice thing to do. So, and until the next time, I will say the following. Stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking, because that's what it's all about. Having fun and being happy.